these opening lines, Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 through 12, people have stated, scholars and preachers and pastors alike down through the years have informed us as that these are the attitudes that we should be. The Beatitudes are functioning much like the fruit of the Spirit in the epistle of Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 through 23. The fruit of the Spirit is singular, yet the fruit of the Spirit contains 9 different virtues. That when the Apostle Paul tells us about the fruit of the Spirit, really there is one fruit that the Apostle Paul mentions, and these 9 virtues in Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 through 23 make up the singular fruit, which is known as the fruit of the Spirit. Now I bring this to your attention because many times when we observe the fruit of the Spirit, this singular fruit, we make the fatal mistake in believing that the 9 virtues that are found in Galatians chapter 5 are distinct pieces of fruit that make up the fruits of the Spirit, and therefore we began to nitpick over what pieces of the fruit of the Spirit we're going to embrace and imbibe, and which others that we're going to jettison. We might take joy to the exclusion of patience. We might take peace to the exclusion of kindness. We might take gentleness to the exclusion of long suffering. But this is not how we are supposed to see the fruit of the Spirit at all. When the Apostle Paul wrote of the fruit of the Spirit in Galatians chapter 5, he meant to tell believers that every virtue that makes up the singular fruit of the Spirit should belong to the totality of the believer, the exclusion of none of the virtues. And here is Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 through 12, and we have the Beatitudes. And the Beatitudes functions much like the fruit of the Spirit. Whereas we cannot pick and choose which virtues we're going to take out of the virtues listed in Galatians chapter 5 that make up the singular fruit of the Spirit, nor can we overlook any of the character traits that are mentioned in Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 through 12. That every attitude is an attitude that the believer should be. That we cannot pick and choose which portions of the Beatitudes that we're going to take to ourselves, to the exclusion of the others. For this is not the way that Christ intended for us to understand the Beatitudes. When Jesus gave the opening lines, the introduction to the Sermon on the Mount by way of these character traits found in Matthew chapter 5, Jesus intended that those who were his disciples would take every character trait that he has mentioned, and that the Christian would be a whole Christian.